Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Dr. Connie Chung. I have an extensive educational background. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, master's in nutrition, a doctorate in physical therapy, been a clinician for over 25 years, as well as board certified in Institute of Functional Medicine in functional medicine. And I'm a ERYT certified at the 500 hour with Yoga Alliance. All that being said, I utilize yoga as a specific tool to help you to regulate your nervous system, to really empower you, to really reach in to your own essence and your healing power from within, to heal from any kind of symptoms, whether it be physical, mental, and emotional, as well as chronic illnesses. I believe all the answers are within you, that we have a biochemical capacity and the ability to heal our own bodies if we can align from within, inside out. That's what we do here. Welcome, and I can't wait to get to know you better. Hi, it's Dr. Connie, and I own a functional yoga medicine studio here in Suwanee, Georgia, and I teach on a regular basis. And these are the mistakes that I see routinely in my classes, in my students, that can potentially harm you. It's got long-term consequences. So I wanted to go over them here with you. So next time you get on your yoga mat, you do them properly and keep your body safe. Because at the end of the day, we do yoga for what? To prevent injuries and to feel our very best, okay? So first thing is, a lot of posterior tilts. A lot of people are sitting and working. So when they come to yoga, they're here. And so they're totally tilted backwards like this, and then their pelvis is forward, and they're hunched back, they're drooping. So I really advise them to pull their pelvis forward, bend their knees a lot, especially when they're going into a forward fold, because when they go into a forward fold, a lot of the times to go from here to here, that's a lot of strain for your low back. It's a no-go, okay? So look what happens when you bend your knees, frees up that attachment from your ischial tuberosity right at your sits bones, that's your hamstring, all the way down to its attachment down into your thigh bone, right? So when you bend it, because it crosses that joint, so you bend it, it eases that myofascial tension for you to allow for this kind of bend, keeping the low back safe. Now, if this is too hard, you can place a block underneath your hands or place your hands on your knees. I prefer the block because I want you to get as low as possible and get used to doing things that way. So bending your knees, okay? And then another thing that you can work on to improve that is to bend and extend and move along with keeping your abdomen connected to the front of your chest and moving along with it. And that's going to keep your low back safe while stretching the backside, as well as to really lengthen the pelvic fascia that is very bandy and thick. Okay, so that's one. So we're gonna lift up, move on. Palms down, right foot back, left foot back, shift forward. Another thing that I see is coming down into Chaturanga. Their pelvis drops and they almost go collapse down. And then they go up, kind of like this. So always position your shoulders down, top of your foot down, lift up, correct alignment. So going back to Chaturanga. So when you go into Chaturanga, ideally, you want to keep the elbows grazing the sides of your ribs. If you can't do that, what you want to do at the top, lower your knees, lower down only to the extent you can, and then pull up right away. Until you get strong enough, tuck your toes, shift your hips back, then lift up into downward dog. No shame there. Same thing here. If you have a posterior pelvic tilt, you don't drop the hips for that. I want you to take the hips up, but still bend the knees. Get into the shoulders by pushing the floor away. Because I was working with another client this morning. He was trying to do this when I told him to bend his knees, and that was putting a lot of tension in his shoulder. That's a bad alignment. So what I wanted him to do is this, really push and engage the core as well as his shoulders, but really make sure that he frees up and creates this anterior pelvic tilt in his pelvis, okay? So that's one. You can practice this downward dog squats. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, bend your knees a lot. Whenever I say bend your knees a lot in downward dog, you have to get into your shoulders. Gaze forward, right foot forward. Exactly between your hands, turn your back heel in, heels line up, bending into the right hand, come up. So this is where a lot of people lack the mobility in their shoulder. So they're stuck here, so they're rounded and they pull up their shoulders. I want them to pull the arms back up. When I ask them to do that, they flare out their pelvis like this. So I want them to draw this down, really engage their pelvis. Take their arm as far up as possible, chin up, engaged at the core. Never thrusting forward this way, because I see a lot of this as well. So really tuck, lift, balance. Okay? Same thing here. Warrior two. This is what I see a lot. So let me show you. Sideways. I see warrior two a lot like this, where there's an imbalance between the left and the right feet. Right foot, and there's a hyper arch of your spine. So this you need to see sideways. Hyper arch, so you have to draw the tailbone, bend into the knee, gaze forward, lock out your arms, be strong, chin up, okay? Then chin up and straighten your legs. So how you practice that? From warrior two, tuck and extend. Tuck and extend. You can't really see it from that angle. So extend your tail, tuck. Extend, tuck. Extend, tuck. Here's something to keep in mind. When you tuck it, the knee wants to come in, okay? So you have to pull the knee over the second toe. Spine, when you look at me in this frontal plane, spine should not be like this. We're not surfing. We want to be pulled up. Spine, perpendicular to your pelvis. Exactly. Remember, yoga is geometrical shapes. So exact lines and angles, super important. And straighten. You can do the same thing. Turn your right toes in, left toes out, bend and extend, bend and extend, and bend. Tuck your tailbone out, tuck it in, tuck it out, tuck it in. That's going to give you a lot of cue to remember what that felt like doing the warrior one. Lifting, but tucking and lifting, it creates so much work that you're going to know you did it. You're going to start to see tone and alignment and posture all coming together, okay? I'm going to come back. So we did the knees, the hips, positioning of the foot. So when I talk about the alignment of the foot, I want you to always know that yoga is a balance practice where you're constantly cultivating balance between effort and surrender, yin and yang. You're balancing front and back, left and right? So let's go into a triangle. Looking down at your feet, I see a lot of triangles where the back foot, I'm doing the right foot forward triangle right now, is turned out. And they're trying to do a triangle. It might work, but triangle is that back foot is turned in 45 degrees. Again, geometry, okay? Right foot is parallel to the side edge of the mat. And then you wanna weight bear evenly on both feet, keeping the pelvis or the spine perpendicular to the pelvic bowl, right? Pull your navel to the spine. So now your foot position is good. I'd like to have my students lift up their toes to liven up their arches and then go sideways, keeping both sides of the length long. Hook the right hand behind the right knee or the thigh. Push it forward as you pull the left shoulder back, really drawing the obliques in and back. There's another triangle that we practice in Ashtanga where we grab the foot where inevitably you're going to take the pelvis forward, which is fine. You're going to dump a little bit of weight onto the right foot, but you don't have to. The awareness comes in, and you want to bear weight onto the right foot, and you want to keep your left hand on the small of your back, then lift it up. Those of you who are flexi, really want you to feel into the right foot, extend the right knee as much as possible, grounding through the back left heel, really pushing down into the pinky edge of the left foot. Then you want to push down on your right foot and right hand to lift up on the left. And then you want to pull the navel to the spine. Use your core to come up. Doing the exact opposite here. Right foot turned in 45 degrees. Left foot parallel to the side edge of the mat. And then you want to go down, grounding through left and the right foot. Push the left hand forward behind the left thigh. Lift the right arm up. Use that as leverage. Really connect with your core. And then those of you who have the Ashtanga practice, you want to go a little more. Really, when I go, I really want to make sure I hold myself accountable to really weight bear onto this foot evenly with the right. And then I want to pull my right hip back, lift the right arm up, then pull the right arm up, really ground my left foot, and really push down onto the pinky edge of my right foot so that I know that I'm balanced and I'm good. And then use my core to come up all the way. And that is what I wanted to teach you guys, to share with you in your classes, to keep your practice safe, because I feel that these injuries can have long-term consequences. And I've seen so much in my 30-year career as a physical therapist, and I've got you. So we're going to be sharing these tutorials going forward. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys all soon. Thank you for watching. Your time is valuable to me, and I appreciate you being here. If you found my videos helpful, I put out weekly videos for you so that you can benefit from it. So I would love it if you subscribed, as well as comment, review me, follow me on social at Instagram, YouTube, as well as TikTok at Dr. Connie Chung. I'd love to hear from you. DM me, comment below, and let's connect. I'll see you guys all later.